Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. The group stage of the UEFA Champions League continued earlier Wednesday with 7 of the last 8 games in matchday 6 at the Allianz Arena in Germany. Group E winners Bayern Munich hosted Spain's Barcelona. Barcelona, of course, entering the contest knowing a win would guarantee their berth in the knockout round. We have the highlights.
And we're underway. He's threatening to settle. Sane. Lewandowski. He's got the drop on Piqué here. He might just have done. Tries to set it up at the far post, and it's cleared off the line by Rahal. And the goal is given for Thomas Muller.
It's a classic Muller goal, really, this. And he celebrates it in typical fashion. It means just as much as when he was a teenager. The technology now takes any doubt away from those situations.
Geza. Coman's still going. Sane. His sort of range here. Oh, definitely his sort of range. Goalkeeper got a hand to it, but couldn't keep it out. And that could well mean curtains for Barcelona as far as the knockout stage is concerned. It was a tall order at the beginning, in truth, but it's a mountain now of Everest proportions.
But Sane just decides to hit this as hard as he possibly can. I mean, he does swerve a little bit, but the way Ter Stegen goes for it with one arm, it's a curious one. He's got time to shift across and get 2 hands to this. It's poor goalkeeping.
Such a play worthy of a midfield player to Alphonso Davies. And put away by Musiala. It is 3.
Whether it's in or out, he's ready to tap this one home. Unlike Sane a bit earlier. And this is the nail in the coffin. I think it was just in.
Me too. And out go Barcelona on the last blast of the whistle. 2 sides to the story here. Barcelona out, but Bayern Munich 6 wins out of 6. Great credit to their new coach this season, Julian.
Yes, so handsome victory for Bayern Munich, 6 from 6 in the group stage of the UEFA Champions League group stage. And Juan Arango now joins us to review what has happened in the Champions League today, with a particular reference to Barcelona's decline. Juan, welcome to the SportsMax Zone. Great to have you on as usual. We have for a few months now been talking about Barcelona's struggles, and they pretty much hit rock bottom today.
No, you can still dig. You can still dig a little bit more. Don't worry about that. And actually what I was doing right before, I was looking for the lyrics to the anthem of the Europa League so I can send to Mariah. But anyways, that's another issue for another time. So yeah. Going back and overall talking about what happened in terms of this match, they just played a better team. I mean, this is the measuring stick with which Barcelona has always been measured, and once you put them there at this stage, mind you, this team is probably not as good as the team that lost 8-2, and that says a great deal. Bayern didn't get past second gear this entire match. They didn't need to. They didn't have to. Barcelona just can't get to second gear. You don't have players that can do it. Piqué and Busquets don't have a second gear anymore, much less a second or a third. So you end up getting beat out wide. You end up having Jordi Alba being injured. So you bring in Mingueza. Bayern just starts salivating at that prospect, and once again, you have a winger on one end that is a bit slower in Mingueza, and then you have one that doesn't know how to defend in Serginho Dest, and you have a lot of problems. Again, you have to start looking at what Xavi has. Xavi has a long-term fix that he has to focus on. Things weren't just going to magically emerge and they're going to win a treble as soon as Xavi stepped in and magically, like Thanos, be able to snap his fingers and everything's back okay. That's pretty much what it comes down to from a Barcelona perspective.
Well said, Juan. Can't disagree with anything you've just said. Having said that, though, Bayern looking as good as you would expect them to at this time of the season, and they, without question, are one of the prime candidates for the championship in May of next year. How good were they today, and how much better can they get?
Well, as far as how good they can get, it depends on how they recover from some injuries. Joshua Kimmich actually ends up coming out of COVID protocol a little before the match, but he wasn't eligible to play. So when you start bringing in those players, when you start getting healthier from a Bayern perspective, it ends up being a very scary proposition. Add to the fact that you start having individuals come in like Musiala, like Sarr, that end up showing some bits of talent, some potential, but also getting some experience and being exposed. You offer, in a time of, I guess you could say, crisis, a moment where they can start getting more experience, and that's been one of the keys. It's been a great week for Bayern, especially the way they were able to grind out a win against Borussia Dortmund at the weekend and be able to come out with this victory. So for Julian Nagelsmann, it's a great week. It's been a great bit of work. There's still a lot more to go, but then they'll have the Christmas break to be able to focus on what needs to be done for the tail end of the season.
Yeah, and Juan, when you were answering the question to Lance, you mentioned long-term fix and, Xavi coming in, and obviously we didn't expect him to turn around everything. To me, though, you've been around the sport for some time, you know the La Liga teams very, very well inside out. Timeline-wise, what would be a reasonable timeline to expect this Barcelona team to get back to some sort of winning mentality?
Winning mentality, you have to have that. That's something that's within your DNA, and I think that's what Xavi is looking to do. He's looking to implement that mentality first and foremost. If you don't have it, you can be the best player in the world, and if you don't have that winning mentality, you're not going to be able to take that next step. That being said, I don't think that some of the players on this 11 for Barcelona, or on this squad for Barcelona, are the type of players that can take you to that next level. Maybe in 2, maybe in 3, maybe in 4 years, but there's still a long ways to go. I mean, you have players like Gavi, who's 17. You have Pedri, who's 18. You have young players who need some time. And Barcelona doesn't have time, because not only are they losing pace compared to Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, but they're also losing money. Keep in mind that all of the earnings they're going to have when they go into the Europa League, depending on how long they stay, it ends up being pretty much 50-60% less than what they would be able to earn if they were still in the Champions League. So from a financial perspective, it's a big blow as well. As far as time, Barcelona, it's a complicated answer to give you straight up, because it depends on the finances, it depends on the players, and also the development of the coach and his relationship with that particular squad.
Yeah, and Juan, you're just giving me a couple examples, and I get the sense that this Barcelona team, to see them back to the standard we've seen them before, topping La Liga year after year and whatnot, it seems as if that's very far-fetched, because everything seems to be working against them.
Yes, it is, but if you want to look at a silver lining that is there, is that can they compete in a one-off match where they can win a game, let's say in a Copa del Rey type of format? Yes, they could. Could they be able to win it? If things go their way, yes, they could. La Liga, could they be able to come back? That's a difficult one to tell, because they're so far behind the pace compared to Real Madrid, who are actually playing very well, who are actually playing a very solid and a very fundamentally sound type of football. So that ends up being a very difficult challenge for them. And also keep in mind Sevilla, Betis, who they lost to this past weekend, and also a team like Atletico Madrid if they start get rolling. So those are factors you got to keep in mind.
Yeah, so what happened in the other game in Group E in Portugal between Benfica and Dinamo Kiev? That, of course, an opportunity for Benfica to snatch the second spot from Barcelona. Let's find out.
Neat little 1-2 by João Mario. Now he can go left if he wants. He does. Rafa Silva has it for Benfica. Back into João Mario. João Mario's pulled back and in. Who got himself in front of Sidorchuk and Mikolenko. The defender, it's 2-0. Inadvertently playing it into the path of Gilberto. And didn't he take it well? Seconds to go. 4 minutes were indicated. 4 have been played. Barcelona have lost 3-0 in Munich. And there's the whistle. That means Benfica are into the round of 16 of the Champions League. For the first time since 2017.
Yeah, so Bayern Munich, as we said, 100%, 6 from 6, and topping the group there, the Bayern Munich side, Benfica, moving up to second from Barcelona, Dinamo Kiev, bottom of the Group E table. So the knockout stage decided for the Group E qualifiers, and Juan, Benfica pushing themselves into a position that they've worked hard for.
Yes, and going back to what Mariah had asked earlier about mentality, winning mentality, well, that's what happened with Benfica. Jorge Jesus comes back from Flamengo and instills this mentality of being able to win. Yeah, it took a little bit of time, but now you're starting to see a team like Benfica, who came into this match with quite a bit of blood in their eye after missing a glorious opportunity to be able to qualify in the previous round, and now being able to do the business at home. So you got to give them a lot of credit to be able to step up when they had to.
Yeah, there was another big game on, for Sevilla in their Group G clash with FC Salzburg 1. They went down 1-0, Lille 1-3, and I raised Group G to you because Group G has Lille and Salzburg going through when many people would have picked Sevilla as one of the two teams to go through to the knockout round of the Champions League. They have to make do with their specialty, which is, of course, the Europa League. But how surprised are you that Group G actually finished this way?
If someone was looking at that group, and if they did, and I know I did, I would have been very wary of being very overwhelming about saying, hey, no doubt about it, Sevilla's going through, so-and-so's going through, because we've seen Lille. Lille's not a fluke. If you look at Liga, yeah, okay, they're not top of the table, but they've still been very competitive at the Ligue 1 level. They have one of the best goal scorers in European football in Jonathan David. They have also been very solid in Champions League play. RB Salzburg has also been an interesting team. I've had the pleasure of being able to commentate some of their matches. And they are a young side, and they do have their ups and downs at times, but they've had more ups than downs throughout the last couple of seasons. And they've been a team that already has a bit of experience in terms of European play, haven't been able to get deep into Champions League on previous occasions. So that being said, to be out and out and say, you know what, Sevilla is a huge disappointment, I wouldn't go that far, but I would be disappointed if I'm a Sevilla fan, knowing that this team came into the season with a great deal of expectations after everything that they did in league play. And if there is, I guess, a consolation to that extent, is that they would be one of the favorites going in to be able to win the Europa League. And as you mentioned, that's their tournament for all intents and purposes. Yeah,
Juventus have staggered into the knockout round like a drunk without a lamppost, but they still finished top of the group courtesy of that 1-0 win at Malmo, against Malmo at home, and Chelsea's 3-3 draw with Zenit St. Petersburg. Max Allegri has a serious problem on his hands, Juan. Early season it was being said, these problems that Juventus are having were caused by Cristiano Ronaldo and the lateness with which he departed and the selfishness, and it's going to take some time to build back culture. But he's gone. You're going to see the together Juventus now. We haven't seen that. They've looked awful, and nobody, I'm thinking, Juan, based on this Juventus' form, is fearing them, you would think, in the knockout round.
I wouldn't fear them, and I think it's unfair to say, because of Cristiano Ronaldo we did this or we
That's what they said, though.
Or this became... Yeah, it's not fair. Because you know what? With him, you were able to get that far. Thank goodness that he was there, that you were able to get that far. So, to me, it seems a bit unfair to kind of put all the weight on one player, a player that you did everything for and pretty much moved all types of things, both football-wise and outside of football, to be able to bring him in. But this Juventus team I don't fear them. I don't see anyone in Serie A fearing them. You see teams week in and week out challenging them. Winning, yeah, a lot of times. Losing, yeah, a lot of times. But it's a team that maybe if you start looking at a more collective aspect, yeah, it's a team that does have individual talent that can make things happen. But will they?
Yep. Timo Werner getting a double today, Juan. I can't believe I'm saying that. Timo Werner scores 2 goals in a Champions League game
and an assist.
And an assist as well.
Yeah. And an assist.
And a very good assist.
You sure the sky's not falling, right?
We're indoors, we can't tell, so we're going to have to go outside and check. But Chelsea, It's funny, Juan, because the last two results in the league and here in the Champions League have come after a period of unprecedented praise for Thomas Tuchel's team. The praise that they've been getting in the past few weeks leading up to the last Premier League game and this Champions League game, not even when they were winning the Champions League was the praise that high. Everybody's lavishing praise. Oh, this team is so good. Oh, Tuchel has so many options. Oh, the attack is so rich. Oh, the attack doesn't even need Lukaku and Werner. And suddenly it looks as if they do need Lukaku and Werner. They didn't win today, but are you looking at this team as a defending champion and saying that they, and not Bayern, not PSG, not Man City, are the team to beat further from here? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that. I wouldn't say that. I mean, if we remember how they were this time last year, it was the complete opposite. So, football tends to be kind of fickle when it comes to those types of things. If you look at it, I mean, Chelsea have already gone through it. They know the paces. They understand what they have to do. They understand where they were at this stage last year. They understand what they needed to do today. Okay, fine, the result didn't go their way, but they already had pretty much assured themselves of a position. Can Lukaku come back? Yeah, he could. Can Chelsea come back? Yes, they can. What's more worrying to me is at times some of the defensive lapses that they've had that end up allowing teams like a West Ham United come back. No disrespect to West Ham United, but it's not a team that's the same level as Chelsea in England or in the European scene as of right now. So let's be honest, I think it's more the defensive side that's letting people down. And by that account, we end up seeing that the other extreme is kind of hyped up a little too much in a moment where they need to get better results and work together as a collective more than anything else. At least that's where I see it. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but I see it from that perspective. I think it's more a midfield on back than a midfield up front type of problem for Chelsea right now. Yeah,
we're out of time, Juan, but I have to ask you this. Based on what you've seen so far, the preliminaries are done. It's a knockout stage now. 16 teams left. Of these 16 teams going forward to that draw in Nyon on Monday, who do you think are the strongest four? The order doesn't matter. Which four of these are the strongest four going forward?
Oh, the top four, no respective order. Oh, that's easy. City, Liverpool, Bayern, and I'll look at one more.
Chelsea?
Just so I can be a friend of yours.
Manchester United. Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
Are you serious?
I think with Ralph Rangnick, they're going to be a much better and much more solid team.
You're a good chap, Juan Arango. I knew there was a reason I liked you. Thank you very much for your time, my friend. All the best to you.
All the best to you.
Good. Mariah?
I died. Mariah left. Well, closing out our Champions League discussion. But before we head to the break, we continue to relive some of the biggest sporting moments from 2021. We'll show you 21 moments up to Boxing Day, December 26, before a Zone special on Monday, December 27, looking at the year that was. We already showed you Karsten Warholm's 400-meter hurdles record at the Tokyo Olympics and Kyle Mayer's superb double century on Test debut against Bangladesh in February. Today we relive one of the great battles of the track and field season, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price versus Elaine Thompson-Herah at the Lausanne Diamond League. Shelly beats Elaine moment. Let's look at it.